You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I look at you, I know it's alright. You read my mind, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I don't need another love. Yeah. We do this every day. We do this love for life. You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of our Legacy Challenge. We are here with Adriel and he is at school and he is hoping that he's going to be able to see Evie today. As we know, he has a huge crush on her and he's hoping that they can develop their relationship. He's wanting to ask her if she'll be his girlfriend. And he's wanting to obviously bring them closer, and he's hoping that she feels the same way about him that he feels about her. It looks like he's trying to come down with a little bit of a cold, but yeah, that's probably not going to be a good thing. But we are going to let him go ahead and meet some more of the students here because we obviously want him to have friends. And also we want to see if there's any other people that he could potentially find an attraction towards, because we do want to know if there's anyone else he's interested in other than Evie. He is in high school and we don't know that Evie's going to be the only person that he's going to be interested in or attracted to. And so there may be other people that he could potentially have a tinkering of feelings for, and so we are just going to have him meet some different people. So we're going to have him go around the school now and introduce himself to some people that he doesn't know and try to make some friends before he has to go to his first class. So he's just going to go in and introduce himself to some folks and try to get to know them and see if they have any instant attractions or any compatibilities, or if they can strike up some friendships and things of that nature. He's going to obviously learn some of their traits and stuff like that. He's really feeling hot. Like, I think he's coming down with a bit of a cold. He's spiking a little bit of a fever, which is probably not good. I do know in this episode we are going to be celebrating Harvestfest, so we are going to be having a little bit of a holiday, and it is not really great that he is coming down with a sickness when it is going to be a bit of a holiday session that we're going to be having, so that's not good. So he is going to go ahead and go to his first class here, and we're just going to hope that he is able to focus enough on his first class, even though he's not feeling well, so that he can retain some information. He's looking around for Evie, and unfortunately she is not in his class, and he's wondering to himself, like, you know, why is she not in class? And he's kind of getting to know some of the other students, as I said, and it looks like they have called for a fire drill. So everybody is heading out of the building, and they're going to go and they're going to line up outside so that they can have this fire drill because as we know, they want to make sure that all of the students are prepared in the event that there is a fire in the school and that they know how to exit safely. And so he's just kind of getting to know some of the students while they're out here practicing for this fire drill. I think generally when they go for their fire drill, they're supposed to be quiet. They're supposed to listen to their teachers for their like roll call and things like that. But he's like, whatever, I'm not even following these rules. I'm just, getting to know some people. And he has met Marielle, and he's found out that she's mean. He feels like she's basic looking. So he's not necessarily, thoroughly attracted to her, but he's also found that she's mean. So I don't know that they would maybe get on anyway. But he is just trying to kind of get to know some of the girls here in the school and some of the guys, and he's trying to kind of make friends with some people. And it looks like the fire drill is over, so we're going to go ahead and head them back in the building. He's starting to feel a little bit hungry, so we are going to just go and grab him a little bit of lunch while it is lunchtime. And then he can go ahead and socialize with some of the students while it's lunchtime, and maybe even some of the staff. And we will let him just converse a little bit. He obviously is wondering why Evie's not at school. He was really hoping that he was going to see her today. He was, like I said, hoping that he was going to be able to progress their relationship, and she's not even here today. And he's thinking, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, like why she's not here. So I think at some point he is going to maybe give her a phone call and just kind of ask her, like, hey, like, why didn't you even show up for school today? And maybe she will be able to tell him why she's not there, because it's not normal for her to just not show up. Not that he really knows her that well to think like, oh, this isn't normal for her to show up for class, because he doesn't really know her that well. And so maybe it is normal for her to not show up to class. Maybe he's just progressing these feelings that he feels like maybe it's not normal. But he also doesn't know her well enough to know, like, maybe she just doesn't have to come to school today. And he has no idea. He's just upset that she's not here because he was hoping that he would get to see her. But as you can see, he's talking to some of the students, he's talking to some of the staff, and they're all kind of getting to know one another, and they are spending some time bonding. He's feeling really confident because he's making friends, and we absolutely love that he is making friends. He, as we know, was really concerned that he wasn't going to be able to make any friends when he first started the school. And that's why he was really, tied to Evie, and he really felt close to her in the beginning because he was like, I'm at least going to know someone. And so he really bonded with her really quickly, and he's kind of latched onto her. But now he's feeling like, I've dipped my toes in the water, and I'm doing okay. I'm making friends. I'm doing well in my classes. My teachers really like me. And so he's feeling really confident about that, which is really, really good. I am going to get him working on a little bit of his homework. And then we'll head him off to his next class, because he does have to head off to his next class soon. As you can see, everybody else has already started kind of to head to class. So we are going to need to get him heading off to class, because otherwise he's going to be late. I think he may actually already be late. Yeah, he is. He's late to class. And he's like, sorry, I'm late. And he's like, yeah, just whenever you can get here, just get here. So we've got him in class here. It looks like we are in computer science class. He had art this morning. He has computer science this afternoon. Unfortunately, once again, Evie is nowhere to be found. And he's like, what is really going on? Like, she wasn't in my last day's classes. She's not in today's classes. But at least, he did see her in the last day. She was at least in the school. She's not even at school today. So he's a little worried. He's not sure what's going on with that. He's a little concerned, but he's trying not to, show that he's worried. He's trying to like pull off the tough guy act, But I think he is a little bit concerned about the fact that she's kind of not around. So I am going to have him after class just go ahead and give Evie a little bit of a phone call, and he's going to check in on her and see why she hasn't made it to class and why she didn't come to school today. So he's going to give her a phone call, and he's just going to say like, hey, why didn't you come to school? And she's going to say, oh, I don't have class today. I actually have a free day. And he's like, what does that mean? And she's like, oh, well, I'm one of the advanced students because I'm in honors classes. And so I actually have a free day on this day of the week. And so I don't actually have to come to class. And he's like, oh. And she's like, yeah, why did you miss me? And he's like, oh, well, I was just thinking about you. And she's like, yeah, okay. So he's kind of feeling a little bit foolish. But, you know, he's trying to play it off cool or whatever. But he's going to go out here in the hallway. He's going to kind of clean up this water a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to have him assign himself a locker and get it decorated up, because he didn't do that on the first day of school. He was so nervous just trying to kind of get his bearings that he kind of didn't do any of those things. So we're going to go ahead and assign himself a locker and decorate it up. And he's really feeling like he's in his element now, and so he's feeling like, you know, I should do all of these things. So he's gonna go and decorate his locker up, and then we'll head him on to the house and let him go home and, you know, take care of the things he needs to take care of. Obviously, once he gets home, he's gonna have to get his homework done and things like that. So let's go ahead and we're going to send him on to the house so that he can go home and work on his homework and visit with his family and see how they're doing for the day. And we will see Adriel once he gets back home. But overall, he had a pretty decent school day. So we're back home with Adriel. He's going to go ahead and go on in and use the washroom, and then we're going to get him working on his homework. And we are just going to check in on the rest of the family members and let them go ahead and tend to their needs. We have a couple of the siblings that are needing to get their bellies full. They are feeling a little bit hungry, so everyone's going to go ahead and take care of their needs, work out going to the washroom and getting themselves some food and things like that. And we will make sure everyone is taken care of. Obviously, everyone's had a long day today at work and school. Obviously, we know that Haley works from home. She does her painting and things like that. So she's probably in fairly decent shape, but the rest of them are pretty much shattered. They've had long days at school, long days at work. As a matter of fact, it looks like Mitchell's currently at work. But everyone else has had a really long day, and so they're just trying to get their needs up. We have Adriel that has already finished his homework now, and he is desperate for some fun. So I'm going to send him out, and it looks like he wants to garden a little bit. I guess he feels like that's a good way to get his fun up. I don't know that that's the case, okay? But we're going to go ahead and we're going to let him do a little bit of gardening, because the garden does need a little bit of love. It needs some harvesting, and we need to spray for some bugs. So we are going to just let him tend with that. And then I think that after we do that, maybe we'll let him play basketball for a little bit and see if that gets his fun up some, because he does like to play basketball, and hopefully that will help get his fun up a little bit. I do think that at some point Haley's going to come out and she's just going to check in on him, because as we know, Haley is really, I don't want to say she's strict, but she kind of is. When it comes to Adriel and his studies and things like that, she is kind of strict with him. Like, she has very high expectations of him. I think that she's going to come out and she's just going to say, you know, obviously she's going to ask him, you know, how was your day? But what she really means by that is, did you do well today? Did you learn a lot? Did you excel at your studies? You didn't goof around with all of the students and, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, she wants to know, like, did you get to business? And so she's kind of, you know, trying to have a little bit of a conversation with him about his day and things like that. Like, she's glad that he's coming home and he's being responsible and he's dealing with the gardening and things like that. And she's glad that he is taking these things seriously. Obviously, she can see that he's trying to learn new skills and things like that, and that makes her really, really proud. But also, like, she wants to know, like, are you excelling at the things that you're putting your mind to? Because that's important, and we know that I am very serious about those things. And, you know, Adriel, he appreciates that his mom is supportive of him and that she wants him to strive to be his best, but also he kind of feels like sometimes she takes it a little too far, and she just doesn't allow him sometimes to just have fun. And, you know, I think part of him is kind of stressed, which is why he needs fun right now. And he's just thinking, like, sometimes I just want to come home and play a little bit of basketball. I just want to shoot some hoops. I don't want to have to come home and tend to the garden or cook a meal or learn how to do whatever. Sometimes I just want to come home and do nothing. You know, would it kill me if I didn't do my homework one day? Or would it, you know, if I didn't study for an exam, is that going to, like, be the end of the world? And she's like, yeah, it is. And he's like, Mom, you know, I'm not saying that I want to be a slacker. I'm just saying, like, sometimes it would be nice to just not have to have all this pressure. And she's like, I understand that, Adriel, but, you know, you have a legacy to provide for, and you need to be the best you can be. And he's like, I get that, Mom, I do. But at the end of the day, I'm still a kid. She's like, no, you're not just a kid anymore. And he's like, yeah, I get that. You made that plain to me every day. And she's like, I'm sorry, son, I really am, but you have some responsibilities. And so she's going to lecture him about his responsibilities. And he's like, I don't need you to do that. And she's like, clearly I do need to do that, because you're arguing with me about the fact that you want to like take it easy, and I don't need you doing that. I need you to take your life seriously, and take your study seriously, and take your skill building seriously. And he's like, I take everything seriously, Mom, but sometimes I just want to be a teenager. Sometimes I want to like daydream about girls and do silly stuff and go on dates and go out with my friends and hell, make friends. And she's like, watch your mouth, boy. And he's like, I'm just saying that sometimes you can be really difficult to get on with. So he has stopped talking to his mom. He's rang up Evie again. He's talking with her because he's like, I'm done like arguing with Mom about this. Like, I need a minute. So he's decided to call Evie, and they're having a little bit of a conversation. And obviously Haley's like put off because she can't believe that her son's just like stopped talking to her mid-conversation. And she's like, ugh, the nerve of him. So she's going to go in, she's going to go ahead and get some food cooking up, because as we know, this family goes through a significant amount of food. So we are going to go in there and we're going to get her cooking. And as you can see, poor Adriel is, kind of going through a little bit of a mood swing right now. And, teenagers have the tendency of doing that. And he's just like, nothing I do is good enough. Nothing I do is, I don't know, like I don't know what to do. And so he's kind of going through a little bit of a mood swing. And I think that is a little bit Haley's fault. Like, she puts so much pressure on him, and he just feels like nothing he ever does is good enough for her. And I don't think that she's trying to make him feel that way. But unfortunately, that is the way it's coming across, because, even though he tries so hard, and even though he's an A student and he does amazing things, and he is learning how to cook, and he's learning how to garden, and he's learning all of these things at school, and he's excelling, still she's harping on him, and still she's riding him. And he's just like, when is enough enough? When am I going to make you happy? And it's kind of sent him over the edge. So we are going to let her go ahead and finish this meal. All of the children are in bed, and Mitchell is at work. Once she's done making this meal, we'll just pop it in the fridge, and then I'm going to send her on up to bed as well. And then when Mitchell comes home, we will get him off into bed, and everyone's going to just get themselves some shut-eye for the night, which is going to be fantastic. And then tomorrow, as we know, it is going to be Harvestfest, and we will be celebrating Harvestfest with the family. I think that Adriel is probably going to be really missing Evie. He's feeling a lot of pressure with his family right now, and it's going to be a day that he's not going to be able to go to school. It's going to be a day that he's kind of going to be stuck at home. And as we know, he's struggling right now. His mom has really given him a hard time, and he doesn't even have the luxury of being able to go and escape at school. And so I think he is probably going to try to, after the family celebrates together, I think he will try to go ahead and get Evie to come over. So it is the next morning. It is really, really early. Everyone is up. They are kind of taking care of their needs. They kind of got to bed a little bit early, and so they rose early. So they're all kind of just tending to themselves and grabbing a bite to eat out of the fridge. And then once we get Haley up, she's going to make a grand breakfast. I don't know how many people are actually going to eat that, because they are kind of helping themselves. But we are going to go ahead and get her making a grand breakfast. And then when a couple of hours go by, she'll actually make a turkey dinner. But she's like the only one that's going to be in the house starving when she gets awake. So she's like, whatever, I'm going to get up and make a grand breakfast because that's what I want to do. So we are going to have her get up, and she's going to cook a grand breakfast for the people in the house that are kind of still feeling peckish this morning. And we're going to go ahead and let everyone else kind of take care of their needs. Adriel is looking like he's feeling pretty grungy, so he's going to need to go and take himself a little bit of a shower and get himself cleaned up. He is still kind of feeling a little bit upset and uncomfortable from yesterday and from the way that he and Haley kind of got on. He's kind of not over that. He's still feeling a little mortified over that conversation that they had, and he's just not past it. You know, he's not one that can take the criticism that he got from her and just kind of ignore it and pretend like it never happened, like it's lingering in him. So he's carrying that with him a little bit. So he's still kind of dealing with those mood swings even today. And, you know, I'm not sure how that's going to really affect their celebration for the day, but I am hoping that he's going to be able to get past it, because as we know, it is Harvestfest and they do need to be grateful. They do need to be thankful. And, you know, even though they have their struggles and their troubles sometimes, they are typically a close-knit family and they do love each other. She sometimes has a hard way of showing it, and she is really hard on him, and she does have really high expectations of him. But at the end of the day, she does love all of her children very much. So she did make that grand breakfast. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to have her feed herself. She made the grand breakfast and then she didn't grab a serving of it. She grabbed something else. So I don't know. Whatever, it is what it is. So we are just going to go ahead and let everyone take care of their needs. They're going to eat and use the bathroom, and I'm going to go ahead and get Mitchell up so that he can grab a serving of food because he's literally starving. And as you can see, we have Adriel over here. He's just kind of scrolling on the computer a little bit. He's feeling a little bit more confident now. Now that he's kind of socializing a little bit on the computer, it's kind of made him feel a little bit better. So I am just going to have him kind of come over here and do a little bit more chatting on the computer, and hopefully he will kind of do a little bit of mingling and he'll get to meeting some people, which is going to be fantastic for him. Obviously, meeting people and networking for him is going to be a great thing. We want him to be meeting lots of people so that he'll have people in his life that he can make stellar friendships with that are going to follow him throughout his years. So that's going to be wonderful. So once we get everyone taken care of here, I am just going to go ahead and get Haley into the kitchen. She is going to serve up a turkey dinner, or cook up, I guess I should say, a turkey dinner. And then we will go ahead and call everyone to that meal once it's finished cooking. It is going to take her several hours to cook that turkey, so we are just going to go ahead and get her started on it. It is quite early in the day still. Usually we would wait and do that at the evening time, but we're going to go ahead and let her get started. They're going to have like a noonish kind of meal for turkey dinner. And that way it's not too late in the evening that they are celebrating their Harvestfest. They're going to do kind of a 11, 12-ish kind of issue of celebration time. So in the meantime, everyone is just kind of tending to themselves. They are eating and they are, you know, doing whatever it is that they want to do. They're just kind of spending time with each other and having conversations. As you can see, Tessia is talking to Mom while Mom does her cooking, which we love. So I think she's just kind of doing that whole joint cooking thing. And she's talking to Mom about, like, what are you putting in the turkey? What's it going to taste like? How long does it take? And she's asking her like 20 questions. And Haley's like, Tessia, why are you asking me all these questions? And she's like, I'm just curious, Mom. I don't know how to cook. She's like, well, asking me all those questions isn't teaching you how to cook either. Just go over there and sit down, and when it's done, and then you can have some. And she's like, okay, Mom. So Tessie is going to go ahead and clean up after everyone. I've been trying to get people to clean up, but Tessie is the only one that actually wanted to clean up anything, so we love that. So Mitchell's going to go take care of his bladder needs, and then maybe I can actually get him to go also and take a bath or a shower, because he also needs a little bit of hygiene. And we are going to possibly get Adriel out. Maybe I can get him to go like take a jog or something. She's doing a really good job at this turkey dinner. She's feeling really confident about it, so I absolutely love that. As we know, she absolutely loves cooking, and I think she is at a cooking level 10, so it's going to be fantastic, this meal. I think she will have it at excellent quality, so that will be great. So everyone's playing, spending some time with each other, and we love that. I am just going to have Adriel take care of maybe some things outside. Maybe he can, don't go upstairs and paint, finish that meal. I'm just gonna have her resume this turkey because she didn't finish it. And then we'll check in on Adriel and see what he's up to. There we go. Alright, so the turkey is done. We are gonna go ahead and just have her call everyone to the meal. And then obviously the people that have not had their grand meal will go ahead and come and have their grand meal for the day. And we will celebrate Harvestfest together. Some of the family did have the grand breakfast, so they've already met off their eating the grand meal for the holiday. But the ones that have not will go ahead and start, eating the turkey dinner, and then they'll be able to meet their eating the grand meal for the holiday. I think Adriel actually is one of the ones that needs to eat the turkey dinner, so we'll have him come in and eat the turkey, which will be fantastic, and he'll be able to check that off as part of his holiday goal as well. And it looks like Everett and Isaiah are going to be close. Okay, we love that for them. Haley's got herself a little bit of a headache. I don't know, maybe they've got a sickness going around the family. Alright, so it looks like Adriel's outside doing a little bit of gardening. So once he's done with that, we're just going to bring him on in and let him have a little bit of this turkey dinner. That way he can meet his goal off for this Harvestfest. And I'm just going to have him come in and chat with Mitchell a little bit while they eat, and they can talk about the meal. Obviously he is, not Mitchell's son, but Mitchell feels like he is, and Mitchell treats him like he were his own. And they are really close. Obviously Haley's trying to talk with Adriel. Adriel's like, are we going to be at it again? And she's like, no, I just wanted to apologize for yesterday. And he's like, okay. And she's like, I'm sorry if I came on too strong. You just know I'm really passionate about your future, and I just really want you to succeed. And he's like, and I'm doing everything I can in my power to do that, Mom. And she's like, I'm just really grateful for you and the children, the rest of them. And he's like, I understand that. And she's like, I hope you're grateful for me too. And he's like, I'm grateful for you too, Mom. And she's like, okay, great. And she like walks away. So Adriel's like, you know what I'm grateful for? This meal. It came at just the right time. So he's happy that he ate that meal. He is going to go ahead and call and see if Evie wants to come over and visit. He has decided that he wants to see her. So he did ask if she could come around, and the parents were like, yeah, sure, she can come over. It's no big deal. So he did invite her over, and she did say that she'd come by. Obviously, as you can see, they're celebrating together and having a really good time, him and Mitchell, and I absolutely love that. So they're just having a nice little family conversation here at the table, and they're bonding, and I think that they are super cute. But we have a celebrity here in our house right now because for whatever reason I can't keep out the neighbors. I don't know why, but I can't. So he's gonna try to attempt an introduction to her, and I don't think it's gonna go well. But when Evie gets here, we will go ahead and we will chat with her. Like I said, Adriel is hoping that they can get their relationship up and they can get closer. And it does look like Evie has shown up. So he's going to try to flirt with her a little bit. He's going to try to build on their romance because he does want to know if they could potentially build on their relationship and they could potentially be boyfriend and girlfriend. And he does want them to expand their relationship and be together. And he really, really has this huge crush on her, and he really wants to be with her. And so he's going to ask her, like, will you be with me? Like, will you be my girl? And so he's going to lay it on thick. And he's just going to tell her, like, I just want you to know how grateful I am for you. And she's like, oh, is it because of Harvestfest? And he's like, I mean, sure, it could be, but no, I just mean in general, like, I'm grateful for you. And she's like, oh, why? And he's like, because you helped me through my first day of school. You really made me feel welcome. And he was like, more than that, you just make everything better. Like, you just make my world brighter. And she's like, really? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I just really feel close to you, and I just really want to know if, maybe you and I could be an item. And she's like, oh, he leveled up in charisma. Fantastic. She's like, I didn't realize that you felt that way about me. And he's like, well, I really do. And she's like, I see. He's like, I think that you're really attractive, and I would really, really like for us to end up, being able to be together. So, obviously I have a huge crush on you, and, it would really make my everything if you decided that, you know, I was somebody that you'd want to be with. And so he's just really laying it on thick. She's eating it up. Like, their relationship romance is going up really high. And I think that, you know, he's loving the fact that things are going as well as they are. And so she's like, I just need a minute. I just need a minute to think. And he's like, okay. So she's walked outside, and he's like, I'll just give her a minute. But then he's going to come on out here, and he's just going to ask her if she has had time to think. And she's like, out here playing hopscotch. You know, I guess that's how she thinks. And he's going to do a little bit more flirting with her. He's going to compliment her appearance, and then he's going to say to her, like, did you have a chance to think about what I said? And he's going to embrace her, and she's like, I did think about it. And he's like, okay, and I was wondering if maybe you wanted to be my girl. And she's going to be like, yeah, I think that maybe I would like to be that. And he's like, really? And she's like, yeah. So they're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, and he is over the moon. So we're going to hop into Cass, and we're going to give Evie a makeover. So let's go ahead and jump into Cass with her and do that now.
You walked in and I thought, here we go. One look and I am all but sober. I forget that I've been here before. And suddenly you're all I see. The situation, it gets me frustrated. It's all in my head. I fall in love way too easily. I always need to remind myself. Nothing of what I feel is real. But fuck, I'm such a drama queen. I know it's just a crush, crush, crush. I know it's just a crush, crush, crush. You said hi and I thought, here we go. Can you tell that I am all but sober? Never realized my friends went home. Suddenly you're all I need. The situation, it gets me frustrated. It's all in my head. I fall in love way too easily. I always need to remind myself. Nothing of what I feel is real. But fuck, I'm such a drama queen. I know it's just a crush, crush, crush. I know it's just a crush, crush, crush. I know that it's just a crush, but I always read way too much into stuff. Nothing of what I feel is real. But fuck, I'm such a drama queen. I know it's just a crush. I know it's just a crush. I know it's just a crush, crush, crush. I know it's just a crush, crush, crush. I know it's just I know that it's just a crush, but I always read way too much into stuff. Nothing of what I feel is real. But fuck, I'm such a drama queen. I know it's just
Okay, so we're back in the game, and as you can see, Evie has had her makeover, and we are just going to continue on. We are going to have Adriel go ahead and approach her. They are going to obviously continue on with their romance, but I am going to go ahead and have him approach her for their first kiss. And I do want them to go ahead and share this moment together, and we are going to see them exchange their first kiss. He looks really shy. Oh, they're so cute. But we are going to go ahead and leave this episode off here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of our Legacy Challenge, where we're going to continue on with Adriel and seeing him build his relationship with Evie and seeing how they get on and continuing on with this beautiful family and with him building everything with her and continuing with his skill building and going to school. So I will see you guys in the next one, and until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.